Is this thing working? So this is a general test, sound test. You should be able to hear some music, hear my voice. You should be able to see the Hammer editor. And then you should see it switch to Consortium. This is my second foray into Twitch streaming. Tried to learn from the first one. Yes, using a different broadcasting software this time. Slicker. Hopefully there's no sound issues. So, good evening, good afternoon, folks. We are funded! Yes! We're gonna make this game! Yes! I can't tell you the level of excitement all of us here at the team have had on our internal Slack channel. Many, many funny GIFs. Lots of dancing. And exclamation marks. General excitement that finally our dream game, we're going to be able to actually make it. Very, very exciting. Thanks to all of you. And more. But it begins with you guys. You guys that are here today, you guys are the super fans. Much appreciated. Well, not that anybody else isn't, but you know what I mean. Okay, so enough rambling. I'm going to just... I haven't been able to get too much work done on this since I left you guys last. Lots of campaign stuff's kept me busy. But I'm kind of aiming to settle into a work schedule for this thing. Back feedback is kind of loud, otherwise sound is fine. Okay, let me see if I can maybe turn down the gain on the microphone. Is that any better? I don't know if that's better. I think I turned it down. Okay, hopefully that's better. So, yeah, so this is gonna be. I'm considering popping up and streaming more often. Those of you that are watching and interested in game design, level design, this is going to be okay, so first of all, every Wednesday at 1 p.m. I'm committing to a dev stream of some kind. We are committing to a dev stream. Either it might be me, it might be the team, it might be all kinds of different things. The point is, every Wednesday at 1 p.m. will be sort of like a 2-hour iDGi development show that will cover any number of different things as we move forward into production for the tower. Varying levels of excitement. And then on Friday, 1 p.m. on Friday will be the weekly sort of playtime for iDGi. So it'll be another 2-hour show where we'll play a game. Sometimes it'll be Consortium, sometimes it'll be other games that inspire us. Often we'll have multiple team members possibly Skyping in, and we'll all be sort of commenting while playing the game, and you guys can join in and comment as well, and we can sort of all together just chat about the game we're playing, as it references maybe the various aspects that inspire us and various components that things that inspire us for the tower and things of that nature. So yeah, that's the general plan. In addition to that, we're planning a playthrough with just myself and Steven of Consortium, where we just play through the whole game, the two of us chatting over it. That's tentatively scheduled for the first one for this Saturday. We're probably going to break it up into a couple over the course of the campaign. And finally, impromptu development streams. As I say, I'm aiming to get this level done and possibly released by the 25th of this month. This is going to be a free DLC for Consortium. It's a simple but hopefully fun little virtual trainer map that's going to be part of a competition that hopefully some of you will take part in. And yeah, so I'll be trying to scramble to get this done over the next week and a half or so. So I think what I'll probably do is whenever I'm working on it, I'll just boot up the stream. And if you guys happen to be around, then cool. Let's just get started here then. So last time we left you guys, left this level, I just made so quickly, actually, I suppose I should, some of you guys that weren't here for the first time, let me just... So this is the beginnings of this new little level. The idea is there's going to be civilians in here, 5 or 6 or so, and then there's going to be bots spawning. 3, or probably be a 4th one somewhere, spawning points, and they'll come in and they'll be attempting to come down and take out the civilians. And your job will be, of course, to fight them off, keep them off from killing it. Be kind of like, sort of like a tower defense, but with no towers, just yourself being the only thing that's defending the civilians. So I'm sort of right now still at the stage of crafting the environment itself. As you can see, I've actually right here I'm in nav mesh development mode. See all these weird lines that are showing up. This is actually for placing down the nav mesh for the level. So I've begun the process of clearing out some old nav mesh data that I started with the old levels. What this level is based on, I've sort of mangled an old level. So some of the old nav mesh data is remaining. I've been going through and clearing that up a bit. That's sort of one of the steps necessary before getting enemies in here and actually testing this level. But first, I wanted to sort of get the shape of the level in a place where I'm happy with it, and I can actually put the nav mesh on it and start spawning enemies. Saves time overall in terms of I don't want to get the thing too functional too early when I know that there's major geometry changes still to come. So, by the way, you're going to hear, if you guys can name the sound effect that comes from. I know you're hearing a very loud, weird sound effect when I delete these things. It's sort of an inside joke. Curious, I will call out the first person that names the game that sound effect comes from. Hopefully it's not too loud. If it's too loud, I can turn down the sound of the game. I think that might be every single time because I have it. Yeah, it's because I'm binding action to a key, and anytime there's a missing sound effect for things like that. Yes! Comrade Hobo! Wolfenstein 3D, yes. That was an inside joke Ryan Sheffer pulled. And it kind of just stayed in there. Basically, if you hear that sound, it means there's a missing sound effect. In this case, the game thinks, because I bound a key to this, thinks there's a missing sound effect for nav mesh controls, which of course is not a game function, but it still thinks it is. So, anyways, I'm just going to save this and go back into Hammer and do a little bit more geometry work. So we've got some people in here watching from Fig, I believe, and possibly a couple team members from iDGi. You should call yourself out in the chat room if you're here. I'm going to be listening for questions as you guys say them. Any and all questions, I'm open. I'll attempt to try to, I'll keep up with them as you guys ask them. Yeah, okay, so let's see here. We got some ledges. Recently I made them a bit bigger than they were last time. So my thinking is I want to maybe have a bridge straight across the top of this. Might be kind of interesting. So I'm gonna just start by doing that. So let's make this. It's interesting, yeah, they're not the same level. That makes sense because of the spawn area. It's fine. Float Void, yes, Consortium 1 is the source engine. The tower is an Unreal 4 engine. Two different engines. But we're porting, one of the first tasks we're doing in production upon us diving into the tower will be porting over all these mechanics. We've done a lot of pre-work to decide how to do that. We just haven't done it yet. So currently all our mechanics, all the working mechanics for a playable game are still in Consortium 1. G-Man, of course, standard issues, but nothing major. We've done lots of work with Unreal 4 already, as you can see in the pitch video. All that stuff's in Unreal. We've done a bunch of game content there. we know the differences between the two engines, and yeah, we're really confident actually. A lot of stuff will port over quite seamlessly. Most of Consortium 1 is written in C++, which of course the Unreal Engine is also has a major supports. So yeah. So yeah, can we put the tower fully without doing combat like the original game? Oh yes, most definitely. It'll be really hard though. Harder than the first game. In the first game, it kind of came down to that one key scenario that you could talk your way through, or you could shoot your way through. But with the tower, there's many different potential combat scenarios. And so avoiding all of them and using diplomacy all the time is very much one of our core goals of making this game. So if you're a real badass diplomat, and maybe you use your stealth shields, so you go invisible, and if your combat's about to start, you quickly go invisible and sort of run away and maybe come back when the guys have calmed down, the agitation meter's dropped a bit, and you can try to engage in diplomacy. And that's a very valuable strategy, and one we will wholeheartedly support. Okay, so we have this long platform going across the entire stretch of the level here, and you can see how it's actually the platform up here we kind of wanted to connect it with. It's a little lower, so my thinking for that, possibly having it go down a bit might be interesting actually. I'm going to make it wider too. Do you anticipate this game being about the same length as the original? No, at least double in play length, at least. It'll be highly dependent upon your playstyle, what you do, what you don't do, how much you decide to engage with the characters, how much exploring you do. I mean, like the first game, there's an extreme focus on player agency, and whatever you bring to the game is what the game will sort of give to you. But the sheer size of the environment, the amount of exploration you'll have to do in order to get to and trigger the end game, the end story, will be entirely up to you. But yeah, because of the length, because of the size of the environment, it'd be at least double. Yeah, probably the minimum playthrough will be 6 hours. You know, probably I could do a speed run maybe in 6, maybe in 5.5. Hard to say exactly, obviously, but the point is at least double the length of the first one. Chaos Ian is a team member. He is an official core the tower team member. So, and Stetson as well. Stetson also is Duke in our servers. He's also a core team member. So Chaos Ian is level designer and scripter, and Stetson is our webmaster and QA guy and community manager to a certain extent as well. Bishop 10 is a cyborg, so I guess if we go Renegade, we might face him. Do we see custom look for him, or we look the same as Bishop 6, our Vessel and Puppet in both games? Yeah, good questions. Hesitate to answer the first part because of spoilers. Let's just say that if XO1 is pulled on you, yes, a bishop will be dispatched to apprehend you. And maybe Bishop 10, maybe not. The point is that most bishops look very similar. They have the bishop gear, the bishop armor, the BUS, and everything else. They do look very similar, except for the number on the shoulder. But of course, they'll sound very unique. Whoever any given bishop is that may be sent your way would certainly be a very unique person, have a unique personality. You can fully have conversations with him or her, engage in diplomacy with him or her, or what have you. So, but visually, probably won't look fundamentally a lot much different from you. Probably look remarkably similar. If you were to see Bishop 10, he's a cyborg, yes, but he's also still got a BOS and everything outside of him. So maybe, possibly, you might see underneath the armor at times, in which case, yeah, you might. If we were to put Bishop 10 in the game, which I'm not saying we are, you'd probably see some, like, I don't know, Adam Jensen type stuff, quite possibly. Yeah. Okay, so back to what I'm doing here. Big platform sticking out. Let's push this to the center. I'm actually thinking give it a bit of a slope. Could be very interesting. I just want to briefly mention the iDGi thing. Let's just say that the game has more similarities to Die Hard than you might think. I don't think it may not be. Yeah, just gonna leave it at that. There's some cool stuff we're doing with the story. Let's just leave it at that. All right. So I want to have it. I'm interested in having there being a bridge over the center that I could then possibly jump to from down here without having to jump up there, and then you can kind of make your way up there. Maybe like halfway up this platform you could jump. Let's just see. Alan Rickman, may he rest in peace. That guy was damn cool. That's annoying. That annoyed me. Very annoyed. Okay. So I'm going to make a center platform. Yeah. Maybe roughly the size of the civilian building underneath, possibly. Join up those two. Go into nav. There we go. Real question: how do you plan to transfer the game data, all of the player secret choices from the first game to the second? They both work in different game engines. Good question. There is a series of files that the first game spits out when you finish the game. There's like just a number of files. Basically, quite simply, you'll simply point the tower towards those files, or the save game directory of Consortium, or just simply having Consortium installed. There'll be a little process for importing your universe on the front end of the tower. It'll say, finding Consortium Game 1, or it'll simply ask you to point towards where the files are, or any number of different things we'll do to make it easy. It'll find the files, it'll import, and you'll be good to go. You'll simply start universe, and it'll continue off where you left it. Okay, so we have all those little thingy here. Goes down, and I can maybe have another slope that goes up. Not 100% sold on doing this, to be perfectly honest, but these things benefit from just a little bit of experimentation, trying things out. Okay, let's see how this plays. Or just in terms of running around it. Devour Mistress, yeah, this is a custom stuff. This is a custom format we made. This is not using the standard source engine save game files. This is not loading a save game per se as much as it is loading in all the data and variables we need to be able to set up the universe at the beginning of the tower for you based on all the stuff you did. Okay, so let's give this a whirl. Oh wait, oops. Forgot one little step. Some more lights up here so you can see what's going on. But I kind of like it. Super easy to transfer up here. So it's kind of like a 3-level, almost 4 levels. So you can sell it level 1 down here, level 2 up here, level 3 here, and level 4. Level 4 being where possibly some of the more powerful enemies will spawn. Come in, and now their flow could be a number of things. I could do a number of things, I suppose. I could have it start here, and we can have them walk around. We can have like a continued ledge around the entire side of the level. So they could sort of walk around and shoot down at you from above. Interesting. I need to get some more lights in here first, though. I can see what the hell's more going on. It's kind of annoying. I think I need. I'm gonna redo the lighting schema for this level For now, I just need to see. I mean, the subtitles are a little bit different than what she says, Environmentress. Oh yeah, you know what? If you go online, people get strange stuff with that. There's like a. I need to go to the. Hold on, let me try to do that. Stenson. Dashboard. I think there's a way to fix it. One sec. There we go. Titled better now. Okay. Just a few more lights. Let's try it out. Thinking, guys. So at least if you have little bugs or minor things like that, the best places to honestly post them is in our community forum. There's a support. There is a support section of our forum. Honestly, this would be a perfect spot to put it. Otherwise, it'll get lost in the shuffle. I'm thinking of, so we have guys coming in here, and they're gonna funnel around, and they're gonna make their way down. Guys, some of the guys coming in here, so a steady stream of guys. We have this middle level. I was originally imagining there being spawn points along here as well. The question is, does it need to be symmetrical necessarily? I'm wondering if there may not be a reason to have platform on both sides. I'm going to start with putting a border all the way around the edge of the level there. See what that takes us. Okay. Civilian defense. It's a simplified version of civilian defense. It's kind of like a civilian defense gauntlet. Everybody starts with lots of gear, and it's kind of like how many points can you get? How much can you keep? Can you incapacitate everybody versus killing everybody? Can you keep the civilians alive all the way through the whole thing? It should be rather difficult. It's going to be hard at the higher levels. It's really just about what the kind of score can you get. It should be quite difficult to keep the civilians alive to the end. You guys can hear the music in the background or not? This is sort of my working music. There's a lot of soundtracks in here. I don't know if you guys hear that or not, but a little game I always played with my brother back in the day was try to name the movie. If you guys do recognize what movie is being played, blurt it out. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, we have. What I'll do is I'll just connect it. It'll have to be a ramp for now. Fair enough, Devour. Yeah, I don't want to overwhelm you guys. I'm not sure how the sound mix sounds with you guys or not. Got my keyboard, my talking, the music, and all the game sounds when it's on. I'm not hearing any of that, so I hope it's not too overwhelming. I hope you're able to. Hope it's not too annoying. Actually, I think I'm going to use this. I think this is the cleanest way. Let's just use vertex manipulation tool to be able to get these two connecting to each other. Now, because I just need to duplicate this, because it's the same on the other side. Good. Now we can run around all the way on the top. We have a spawn point at the top. Right now, though, there's no way for the guys to get down naturally. We don't have bots able to jump and whatnot. Yeah, the keyboard. Steve's telling me, you get a new keyboard that doesn't clickety-clack, but I like my clickety-clack keyboard. I like mechanical keyboards. But maybe I have to get another keyboard for streaming. I don't know if you guys all think it's really annoying. I can do that. Okay, so we have 3 levels. Right now the top one's disconnected. Middle one currently doesn't have any enemies spawning. It might be interesting if the top one were to connect down to the bottom one in some clever way. Let's actually look at it in game. It'd be easier to see. I could just see here, spawn point, bridge across the side. Actually, I suppose I'll just get the latest version. Right, so we have ourselves a little top section all the way around, where theoretically bots could roam about, shoot down at us. Wonder if... And what I might do is get rid of this inequality. It's messy. Have it be the same height all the way across. I think I will do that. But yeah, I'm thinking, looking for something. I think there's something here in terms of like, I don't think we need to have this be symmetrical. I'm trying to think. So spawn there, spawn here, spawn here. Maybe. Any other questions? Yeah, I'm thinking, folks. I'm open to thoughts and ideas. To be perfectly honest with you, this is usually a moment where something's about to coalesce in my brain, right? So I'm just trying to let it do that. Let these ideas soak in a bit. So first of all, I want to have the top, I think, be even. Do we want another spawn point up there? But saying no, I kind of like the idea of having one up top. Possibly spawn some of the most nastiest enemies, and then their flow could be, I could tell the bots to go wherever I want them to go. So obviously there's the whole side of the level. There's having them walk down here and then walk back up, but there's maybe there could be a ramp from here. One thought I had is a ramp from the center, sort of going down to there, but it'll just be too much interconnecting, crisscrossy stuff. Other thought is maybe since the spawn point is here, they can cross all the way over to here, and then there's a way to get down to this platform, possibly. Kind of liking that, actually. Kind of liking that. And then maybe getting rid of this platform altogether, so this is more open. It's a sort of survival thing, yeah. So the idea is it's get as high a score you can through incapacitating as many bots as you can. You get more points that way versus killing them, and keeping the civilians alive. Yeah, basically you'll. Yeah, it's also somewhat in flux, but my thinking is that if you lose a civilian, you simply lose a ton of points. So it's all about just how high can you keep your score. Horde mode, online multiplayer, unlocks participation. Sir Marth, yeah, I'll get right on that in a couple days. Kill streaks, aim down sights, back to modern warfare. Yeah, no, this is about getting used to the Consortium Bishop gear, getting you understanding how to use your super jumps and sort of some of the tools that'll be extremely useful in the environment of the tower, where there's a lot of verticality and a lot of ledges and a lot of this sort of stuff. To be honest with you, this is a sort of a simplified version. Well, it will become, when it's finished, a simplified version of the kind of fighting environments and the kind of combat arenas you'll often find yourself in when exploring the tower and getting yourself into combat, of course. Ian, yeah, you know, Bishop combat's not really about poking out of cover and shooting. It's about running around with your overwhelming force. But yes, of course there'll be sections for sure. Like I'm thinking down here, there may be things along the top of the wall, like special, carefully placed walls that can allow you to sort of get behind. So yeah, no, of course there will be some areas of cover, but that's sort of going to come once I've got the enemy flow worked out. Once I'm happy with the overall sort of composition of the level from a platform verticality sort of running around flow point of view, then the enemies start coming in and they flow around, and then I can start to figure out, understand where all the area, or where all the main sort of firefights occur, and start putting some key strategic cover in there. So that's a bit later in the process. Okay, but first I'm kind of intrigued. I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna so across from this spawn point, this will go down to a platform, and then rather than having this go up at all to there, it'll simply go across, and then it'll sort of join down to this platform here, and then I'll delete the other one. Kind of liking that. Okay, I see it. Yeah, absolutely. My thinking is that this area down here will generally be not only where the civilians are, but sort of a safe zone for you. You can come down here. This is where you can take a bit of a breather. Of course, while you're down here, the enemies are slowly marching on you as well. So it's an interesting sort of back and forth I want to have, where it's like you'll come out here, you'll do a bunch of fight, you'll push off the bad guys and their progression, and if you get a little too messed up, you jump down here. There'll probably be endless energy down here as well. I'm thinking there'll be some respawning energy, utility energy items in here, so you can come down here, grab utility energy, charge up, maybe heal your civilians if they've taken damage, and then run back out into the fray again. Hopefully the flow is such that you have time to do that, and you don't have guys coming down and attacking you from both sides, walking down the slope here, engaging you, so it can get quite intense. That's all part of the flow of the battle, right? Yeah, so let's do this. So spawn point there, and then I'm gonna kill that. Also going to kill this. Thinking this might be interesting to kill that. You don't need to have it be symmetrical at all. Symmetry is interesting, and it's usually a common place to start when you're crafting levels, but I find asymmetry is far more interesting if it supports the overall flow. Precise with that a bit later, but okay, and extend this. Do you extend that all the way over or not? Go down and go straight across. How low is that? That could be interesting. It's easy enough to change. I'll just do that for now. I see a big question there. Tower question. We know there is some amount of destructible environment, but how much is there? Can we storm a room by blowing the door to pieces or cutting a hole in the wall with rocket launcher explosives? There is going to be the rocket hardpoint weapon if you find it. And yes, there'll be destructible environments, but how much there is a hard question to answer at this exact moment. There'll be a finite amount, and you'll know, as a player, you'll know what sections are destructible once you discover that destructibility is possible. So there'll be a lot of surfaces that'll be essentially be indestructible. There's a material called transparent titanium that is used throughout the construction of the tower that is literally indestructible. Even nuclear blasts can barely scratch it. So that material is used all throughout construction, but there's plenty of other materials as well, some of which are vulnerable to your weapons and explosives and will be a viable path. So if there were doorways or hatches or partially formed walls or other such things that are in your way, blowing them up will definitely be one of the viable paths of progressing through the tower for sure. But consistency is key. But it's very important to me that it won't be just randomly, oh, so now this wall is destructible. It'd be more like you'll recognize the material by sort of how it's colored as being, oh, I can blow that up. So you'll kind of know upon seeing it, and it'll be very consistent. Triple Cribble. I'm not sure. You call me by my first name. I don't know if do I know you, Triple Cribble? But regardless, thank you. Congrats to all of us here at iDGi and Fig. Very exciting. Okay, so I have this secured over. Let's see. And I want to have it go down to this platform. So let's duplicate this. Rotate it. Get a bit smaller. Turn it into a ramp. How much of a slope that's going to be. It might be too much. Oops. It looks too sharp to me. It certainly looks messy because of that. Maybe I think I'm going to kill that. So you should be able to jump up. Yeah, let's kill this top one. There's still this one that's going up, but I'm going to get rid of it. I don't like that idea at all. Now I'm just going to kill it. Easier to delete than to mess with the slope. Still got this. So this guy's come in. Currently they can go left or right. They'll go down. They'll go all the way across, possibly involving shooting at you and stuff from up here. Imagine there'll be lots of firefights of you shooting up at them, blasting them over, using your sear to blast them off, have them fall down. That'll be kind of fun. And then they come all the way down, eventually make their way down here on this platform, and then they'll be able to walk across here and make their way down. So there's like a nice little lengthy journey for the super bots from the top that have to make their way down, which I think is kind of cool. So it takes some time for them to make their way down to be able to get to the civilians, which I like. Okay. KFC and hell yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. So much fun. Again, it just comes down to, as long as we're careful and how we sparingly use that material I told you, the thing, it's going to just be an awesome tool in our toolbox. Definitely. Sir Marth, yeah, Zelda S hits, cracked wall, better blow it up. That's exactly what I mean. That's what I mean by clever design, you know, so clever hints to the player that, hey, this is destroyable, right? We'll hope maybe a little bit more panache than an obviously cracked wall that is weak, but it'll be something like that, something similar. EMP ammo. Having different ammo types is definitely in the cards. Yes, Devour Mistress. Specific ones we're not finalized yet. But one of the key things of the KAR is the fact that it can handle all kinds of different types of ammo. So yes, I would say that EMP ammo is entirely possible. Not guaranteed, but possible. This is pretty old school, this level design compared to our UE4, although they both support brushes and stuff. But yeah, I could do a stream where I could compare and contrast the two, for sure. Okay, so what was I doing here? I was reconciling this. So we have the bots come down to the end. We want to have them go down, which is good, but maybe instead it goes along the wall. It doesn't mean this doesn't have to be as big as it is. Yeah, so maybe I can move this over. I love Metroid Prime. Totally dig a lot of the design thinking behind that game. Yeah, exactly, Sir Mark. Yeah, I agree. Okay. I don't know if I'd call, by the way, level design work in this sloppy. It's actually quite precise if you know what you're doing, but it's certainly less modern. I mean, it's, you know, the editor is separate from the game. That's the biggest difference between the Unreal 4 editor and the Hammer editor. Is this is all completely out of game. You know, I have all this stuff means things. So I'll go into at some point what they all mean, but at some point you compile it and then you run the game and you test your stuff. So it's sort of very separated, whereas Unreal 4 it's all in one, which is quite awesome. And will certainly allow for a hyper-efficient dev cycle compared to using this engine. Okay, so let's... I'm going to bring this... This shape is always temp anyways, but... so you want it to connect to this, to that there. Again, I'm not. You guys just keep in mind I'm not doing any aesthetic work whatsoever today. This is really basic shape and behavior of the level and sort of flow level of flow stuff. Nothing to do with making it look good. That's a pass that comes after I'm happy with how everything fits together. I got some pretty cool ideas for, I think, how to make it look pretty cool and how to upgrade the look of the virtual trainer from the stuff you see in Consortium 1. So that should be an interesting piece of DLC if it comes together the way I see it, anyways. But kind of liking this nice big flow. They come down here, they go down here, they go here, they'll go across here. They can go either left or right, down here, and then they have to make the way across to the float, down to here to the surface. Versus these guys, they'll come out, and then they'll make the way around pretty quickly. All right. I'm going to compile this around it for a bit. Sure, Devour, yeah. Our characters will be cognizant of that stuff. As I say, stuff that is destructible, most definitely your team would inform you of that. That's sort of the primary mechanism that upon which the game will describe to you how you interact with the game world will be through our characters. So, yep. Just yep. Alright, so guys will come down here. Shoot, 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 shoot. Walk down here. Walk down here. And then possibly come down here. Now there's like a nice big open area here too. Just so like. Get some puzzle up there. So close. Agonizingly close, isn't it? I think I'm gonna fix that so you can. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that. Yeah, Chaos. Ian, yeah, it's super close. Let me check if I got any questions I've missed. Don't think so, okay. Devour Mistress. Oh, count on it. There's going to be some serious challenges in navigating the tower. And some seriously, deeply hidden stuff. This is going to be much more of an old school maze level. Like, imagine games like Jedi Knight or Dark Forces, or some of the really early shooters that had big, elaborate mazes. Think of the tower as kind of being like that. It's going to be a very complicated, gigantic, interconnected, hub-based maze that may change on you as well. So it's almost going to be like a dungeon, like a sci-fi dungeon in many respects, actually, to speak totally out of game. I'm really excited, actually. I love level design. I love the potential of level design, and with the tower, I've never been more giddy about the potential of what the levels can do to create an awesome experience. So, yeah, this ledge, as we discovered up here, can't quite be jumped to from down here, but I'd like it to be able to. I'm thinking too that we already talked about the flow of the enemies coming from here and kind of coming down here, etc., etc., etc. So what's the point of these two side sections, right? The enemies are probably not even going to go on there, will they? They might. You know, if you engage them, if they spawn here, they'll come on here, and you start shooting them, they may start spreading out along here. What I could do then is possibly have this lower down a bit. That might be kind of interesting, actually. Have a little slope section kind of go down. Oh, crap, son of a... Sorry, guys. I gotta remember to manually switch between the editor and the game. And I was too deep in thought there. I didn't do that. Sorry about that. I was saying I want to fix this fact that you can't quite jump from here up to here. And the fact that the flow of the enemies are they spawn here and then they go down here, etc., as we talked about. So I'm thinking about having this have this kind of slope downwards a bit on both sides. Maybe have a brief slope and then it flattens out. Having a big long slope is a little less interesting than having it slope down a bit and then go across. Maybe to a little platform up here. That'd be kind of neat, actually. A little vantage point from which you could maybe jump up to and engage the bots directly up here as they come down at you. I like that. Okay, let's do that. Knight 18 is an interesting character. I think he's one of Steve's favorite characters in terms of what we plan to do with Knight 18. Yeah, that's definitely purely Steve's creation, and I'm actually intrigued to see what he does with Knight 18. we've got ideas. We know what his role is in the story, but specifically how it manifests, I'm pretty excited to see that myself. So yeah, let's do this. Okay. So this is the base platform. We extended it a little bit past the spawn box. All right. There we go. Oh, that's good. Actually, it should be in line with that. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Just a bit. Maybe the jump there. Maybe. Actually, I think it's too much. Too much that way. Try that. Good night, Triple Kibble. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Hey, we have 21 people in the stream right now. 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21. Yeah. Okay. Can't live without it. Okay, it's looking better now. Now we can extend that out. Now let's give it a test. The question is, can we jump up to there? Bets on whether or not we'll be able to do it or not. Let's find out. Okay, I won't forget to switch this time. Resurrected Elmer. Alrighty. I'm liking the structure of this a lot, actually. I can make this look pretty neat too. Okay. So here we go. Yes. Now we can jump up here. So now a viable way. I'll make this a bit of a bigger platform too. So a viable way to deal with those guys that are spawning up there is to simply sort of just get at them at the source. Just sit here and just start wailing on them as they come up down. Of course, you're in danger of possibly having them fall off, get back up, and then they're much closer to their goal of the civilians. It should be interesting. So, yeah, let's. Do you want to do the other side as well? Is symmetry good in this case, or do we only want one? I think it might look cool to have it be on both sides. Gives more room to fight, too. There. First, make this area a bit bigger. Maybe give it a... And again, the exact shapes are to come later. I may mess. You know, it's not about looks; it's just about the physical space that's playable at this point. Okay, now that we have that, I can duplicate the whole thing one fell swoop. I'm happy with this. So it's a little challenging to fight without falling off yourself. Okay, and then let's duplicate all of this. Group it first, and duplicate. So there it is over here. And rotate it. Actually, rotating it's not going to be enough, is it? Let's you know, you do another kind of operation. You can do this. Flip objects. Why is it grayed out? That's kind of weird. Not quite sure why it's grayed out. Oh well, it's fine. This works. Okay. Let's duplicate it on both sides. It's possible enemies may just spread out here, shoot at you from up there. You can jump up and deal with them. You can run up yourself. There's a way now to get all the way to the top. There's not a way to get to pretty much every piece just from walking, no jumping needed. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm gonna now add this top piece. There's some lights actually, so you can see them. So this top here, this is for people that try to get outside of the arena. There'll be a way to sort of be able to be way up here if you wish, but then there'll be walls at the top to prevent you from literally getting outside. I can be more precise with it later. It's fine. Yeah, now I'm gonna be really clever. I'm gonna duplicate this entire thing. Then I should be able to rotate the entire thing, theoretically. Yeah. Okay, close enough for now. Fix all that later. It's just broad strokes. I'll make some funky geometry for these corners. Funky. Funky, funky, funky. Any questions I'm missing? Look like it. Okay. Okay, so what's next? Maybe fixing up some of this geometry. Sorry if all this isn't necessarily super exciting for you guys. Just sort of giving you a real sneak peek into at least my process for doing something like this. I hope it's somewhat interesting. Let me just compile this. Switch over. crisscrossy things. I wonder if we can. Yeah, because this is now. And you can jump up here. That's kind of cool. This should be pretty interesting. There is that one big dead space. Yeah, you mean this over here, eh? Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I think there is room for another little something something. This goes down here. Yeah, you guys mean over here. Theoretically, I could extend the ledge. I mean, that was always a thing. I could extend the ledge over. I think it is kind of maybe interesting to always have the ledge be. Of course, it's always up here. Yeah, that space kind of formed because I got rid of some of the symmetry that was taking up some of that space, and I'm liking the results from a game level flow point of view. But there's definitely something to be done here. I think there's something more to more completify, if you will, the flow of this. One thought is, does this need to be quite as thick as that? This top piece. Maybe maybe in the center it can kind of have like a cross. Maybe there's another cross beam that connects to a ledge. Also, a thinking is that maybe this slope goes down to the same height as this slope, so that this ledge will perfectly line up with a ledge that does connect to the top piece. That might be interesting. Hostages are going to be down here in this box, huddled in this box. Without floors. Not sure what you mean by that. Well, yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that. But yeah, I like to organically let things grow from a purely run around point of view, and I really like a couple things about where this is right now. One, I like the way the enemies, their overall job to get down to the bottom is a fairly long trek, so the tough spawns will have a while to get down there. I like the different ways you can jump around from level to level. From here, being able to easily access, relatively easily anyways. Access the different levels through super jumping. And yeah, but I'm gonna try that cross idea. I'm kind of liking that. Let's try that. We can always change it, but let's try it. Yes, Stetson and KSCN are both iDGi. And maybe others that are lurking, I'm not sure. All right. So let's do that. A couple things. Yes, Jeremy Soule, one of my best buds in the whole world. He is my brother. Yes, Jeremy will be doing new music for the game. But his themes and compositions and all the stuff, all the music you hear in the first games is never going away. That will always define the Consortium universe, and you'll always hear those themes will be continued to be used in various different ways to help tell the story in the tower. Music for storytelling is one of my biggest passions. It's one of the reasons why Jeremy and I are connected so well. So, rest assured, music's going to be awesome, and it's going to help tell the story in a bunch of very key ways. As far as how much new music, that's to be determined. Or how much, yeah, it's there will be new music from Jeremy in the tower. Let's just put it that way. All the themes will always be his. To be Devour, we're not at this point committing to anything more than what you see in the trailer and all the stuff, all the tools and abilities and gear from Consortium 1 will all be getting the Unreal 4 treatment. They'll all look and sound and feel much cooler. Plus, the new stealth gear and the new rockets you see in the trailer will be in the tower. We're not committing to anything more than that at this point. But certainly, if we hit the nearest stretch goal coming up, the 50k stretch goal, that will effectively increase the number of options because you're going to be able to selectively upgrade gear to benefit your style. So, yeah. Okay, now the other thing is let's get this thing. We have quite a significant top level now. As I suspected, this is a bit lower than that. That's okay. I think I'm going to raise it. Or should I lower the other one? I think I'm gonna raise this. Not sure what you mean, Devourmistress, but I wonder if I can get rid of that for now. Let's just... go. I need to fix this one. I'm sure I already had a pretty steep slope, but I think I'm gonna mess with that anyways. So let's do that. Oops. Nope, this whole thing was used to make Consortium. Matter of fact, if you guys are interested, I'll show you guys Zenlil in Hammer near the end of the stream. So you guys can just gawk at the insanity of it. It's really the tool that we use to invent the iDGi 1 interactive storytelling technology. It's essentially the formula we use to translate the screenplay into gameplay. I'll briefly show you that. I'm going to go into that more in detail on Friday, but I will happily show it to you guys so you can gawk at it before I end the stream. But in the meantime, let's stick to what I'm doing here, which is I'm going to connect to this. This is getting too steep for my liking, so I'm going to now push this one back a bit. And I'm pretty sure I showed it to you at one point, but yeah. Go. All right, let's give this a whirl. Ford, awesome. Conspawn regarding level design. Yeah, actually, we have a really crystal clear idea of how the level design is going to work in the tower, and it's going to be different than most modern first-person games. Put it that way. This is not going to be a set-piece driven game. This is a little more old school. in its approach, level design wise. Yeah, we'll look into that more in the future. Okay, here we are. Now we have ourselves much more elaborate of an upper level. Needs lights though. Needs lights, can't see anything. This is an opportunity here. Strikes me as a little tricky, but maybe that's okay. It's like definitely like a nice jump point here. Oh, that needs fixing. Yeah. Wait, okay, yeah, no, I need to... Forgot to extend this out. It's the animation of that side. So now there's sort of like a T-junction for the upper level. If it might be interesting to connect this, to have it sort of connect down to here. I mean, sometimes, you know, I'm a big fan of the KISS principle, especially when it comes to this level. I don't want it to be too complex. I want it to be simple, relatively anyways. Old School is in System Shock 2. You know, it's going to be its own beast. We're not copying anybody. But combination of Deus Ex, System Shock, Dark Forces, Jedi Knight. Jedi Knight in terms of its use of great open spaces, you know, all the force powers you have as a Jedi. In many ways, you're like a Jedi as a consortium bishop. So lots of locked and closed off areas, lots of secret areas, lots of different ways to explore your way around problems. Lots of wildly varying combat scenarios, lots of use of verticality, underwater sections. Okay, I'm gonna jump back to the editor. I gotta fix this. This needs fixing. Actually, I happen to love underwater stuff in games. It's a fun tool for deep exploration. This will all be changed eventually. I'm not going to leave it like that, but just for the purposes of basic flow and where geometry is going to be. Kind of liking this. Is there an opportunity for another spawn point somewhere? Maybe right here? Right here? That website was created by a fan back in that Wikipedia thing you guys are talking about. Was started by a fan back in 2010, soon after we released the initial batch of iDGi content. Like literally like a couple weeks after we released it. Unforum, I think it's Unfiction. Unfiction community picked us up. And it's actually ultimately where Stessen found us. I believe he played the iDGi to begin with. And then came on board with our first Kickstarter campaign. Okay, I'm going to fix these platforms now. See how they dig into this geometry here? That's just all part of me getting the height of this correct for the purposes of player flow and jumping around. But now I can get these a little more properly fixed up. Way to do this, actually. I think I'm going to pull that back just a tad, actually, so that this is going right into the corner of these two. And I'm going to probably make a nice little platform here, so it's nice and smooth and simple. Okay, now this is a bit more of a complicated operation. Shorten the other one to match up with it. Yeah. So that's going to essentially be... Ooh, some consortium music. Ah, garbage. Garbage, I say. Thinking, folks. Just thinking. What are you guys talking about? There actually are handrails. Out of context, never mind. I'm not sure what the context of that is. Okay, I think I'm gonna pull it back. Pull it back by a considerable amount, actually. Fine. Question, do we want to be both sides? I guess we do, right? Jump from top of the tower straight down to ground level with free fall suit. Devour Mistress. There'll be several loading areas, although with level streaming, we're going to try our best to have it so that the loading is cut down to a minimum, if not zero. That's the streaming stuff on Unreal is quite powerful. So we plan to assemble the levels from the beginning in such a way so that hopefully streaming will just take care of all loading times. But I can't promise there won't be any loading. Depends on many different things. And jumping from the top of the tower straight to the ground level with free fall suit. There'll be problems for you doing that. There's in-game stuff that'll happen. I don't want to give spoilers, but you'll be free to try to do that, Devour, if you want to. Rather than landing on the top, you can try to see what happens if you try to head down the side of the building. So Marth, yeah, the Unreal Engine is light years ahead of what I'm working with right now. The only reason I'm doing this is because we have a completely finished game with the Consortium 1, and a lot of the mechanics are going to be shared between the two, so this is a really good way to just start doing some dev stuff with you guys and actually have this result in a level you all get to play. So it's sort of just a fun exercise for this campaign. And the level you'll get to play, again, there's a competition we're envisioning the second half of the campaign. That should be a lot of fun for all of us. So, yeah. Like I say, getting used to, or becoming good with the mechanics of a Consortium Bishop in a Consortium 1 will definitely prepare you for being able to play the tower with great efficiency. Funky with this later. It's not going to be precise. It's annoying. But hopefully should build okay. Yep. Okay. Alrighty. One last thing before we go and test this is I'm going to just duplicate this, get this other side back in there. Again, you're welcome to try that, Devour Mistress. You'll have total freedom of control as to where you're going to go. There's no invisible walls. If it looks like you can go somewhere, you can darn well give it a gusto to go. And if there's things preventing you, it's all in-game reasonable things preventing you. There won't be like, oh, I'm hitting an invisible wall now. I don't know why. I guarantee you will see none of that in Consortium. I will not allow it. I hate invisible walls. They're the biggest destruction to immersion that there is, in my humble opinion. So this is interesting. This is, yeah, because this thing center's not square. But you also will be able to go inside it, by the way, Devour Mistress. That spiral, you'll be able to get inside there. And explore it. That's the safe zone. Okay, so I think I'm getting close to being done with this for now. Actually, contemplating killing that altogether. I think it'd be even more asymmetrical. Let's just give this a whirl. Okay, here it is. I think this is going to be it's going to play very, very interestingly. It's very asymmetrical, plenty of big open space here. I think there's something to be done with having. I think this looks incomplete. I think we might need to bring this down, possibly to this platform. I think that might be kind of interesting. It's just a long slope from straight there to there. Might complete it. But yeah, I think if you guys want, I'll boot up Zenlo now for 10 minutes or so before the end of the stream. But I think this was kind of neat. Thanks, guys, for joining me the last hour and a half as we make progress on this level. Wait a second. Oh yeah, no, it's just the lighting doing tricks on me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, cool. What was the question? In the original game, there was a friendly lock system that didn't allow us to shoot anything other than when it wanted to. Feature minute stable. The civilian safety lock will still be there. If you're as a consortium bishop, it won't let you shoot at civilians. It won't let you shoot at things that are considered to be non-threats. That's always always the case, unless of course you get kicked out, in which course that stuff all goes away. And you can certainly, there's lots of things that are considered threats. You'll have a lot more freedom to shoot at people than you did in the first game, because the first game was all consortium officers, right, mostly. So obviously there's no threats. It was been a 2-hour stream, Devour, but I'll be here again on Friday at 1 and do more stuff. But I'm not quite done yet. Let me boot up Zenlo for you guys in the editor. So you guys can just, and then what I'll do on Friday at 1. So this Friday at 1, come back if you guys are interested. I'll resume streaming, and it'll emphasize on Friday. I'll be playing Consortium, running around Zenlo and stuff, and showing you how various parts work in the editor. But yeah, let me do that now. Let me show you guys Zenlo. Absolutely, my pleasure. Hopefully you guys have had some fun with me here. Oh. Alrighty. So this is the cockpit. Every one of these things obviously has, you can see Wade there in his standard T-pose, so to speak. The eyes automatically look at the camera in editor. Yeah, lots of stuff. Let me just pull out. There's Zenlo from outside. Absolutely my pleasure. My pleasure. I'll be doing this regularly, guys. I say my current ball, if not more, I may just suddenly up and start a stream and continue working on that level without any prior announcement. I may just do it. But guaranteed every 1 p.m. on Wednesday, every 1 p.m. on Friday, there'll be a show, essentially. I'll be doing something. We'll be doing something. Hopefully not just me. I'll drag other team members into this. I'm not the only one who's going to have to do this. So this mission ops stuff everywhere. Here's the corridor. Here's the main corridor. Here's the bishop's room. No, this is the spare bedroom. This is the bishop's room. A couple things. Let me try to bring this into this window so you can see it. There we go. So this is the filter control, the viz groups for the level. Yeah, triggers are everywhere. So you can see here, this is how the Zenlo's organized. And actually, one interesting trick is that the entire game of Consortium 1 is split into 2 main levels, Zenlo _1 and Zenlo _2. When you put your drink down, sounds like a Star Wars docking sound effect. Hey, that's cool. Anyway, so you can see here Zenlo 1, Zenlo 2. Right now I have Zenlo 2 loaded. What I can do is I can just unload it, a bunch of stuff goes off, and then put in Zenlo 1. So all the logic for the storytelling for the first half of the game is in Zenlo 1, and all the logic for the second half of the game is in Zenlo 2. And see, this here, these player game starts, these are all development start positions and different parts of the story. So for instance, this I have selected right now, dev start Wade incident. I recently fixed a bug with, where Wade gets brutally injured in lower avionics, and you're tasked to go and rescue him. Well, but if I start the game with this thing, I'll start right before that incident, and it allows me to debug from that point in the story. But yeah, it's a tiny brief look at it. Let's see what else I can... Any questions about all this stuff you're seeing? I don't want to go too deep into it because there's a lot of stuff I can take you guys into. But seeing all this madness, is there any questions in general? Like maybe what all these choreo scenes are? Each of these choreo scenes is essentially like a little scene in the game. It's either someone saying a line, someone saying a bunch of lines. Yeah, you can see that this is the... So this is group 3, so this is group 636. So, real quickly, let me show you guys, just for fun. Wait, do I have Zenlo 1 or Zenlo 2? Zenlo 2, okay. Right, so here's the interactive screenplay. So to find out what that is, actually it's comments, and you can see R25 gets back up and goes back to Hangar Bay, repairs CCU. So this is some scene where basically I believe this is a scene where she's she's doing something, and then she basically is told to go back to her job in the Hangar Bay. So you can find exactly what she says in group 636. So you just find 636. R25 says, "How many of us have to die for some bastard's sick amusement?" So this is after Pawn 64 can die in one of the story threads. That's her saying that. This is one tiny little part of the story, and it has outputs and inputs. Right, so it was told by Group 91 to start at the end of it, and when it finishes, it tells Tree 35 to start. So this is a conversation the player can have, and it also cancels a bunch of sequences and then begins the sequence that tells her to go to the Hangar Bay and continue her work. So yeah, that's just a tiny little just grab there. Quick question: how does Hammer not crash? Well, I put it this way: this is definitely pushing Hammer to its absolute limits in terms of logic and everything else, but at the same time working within its systems, and I understand the tool well enough. So can you play sounds in here? Quick question before you stop the stream: does it affect the tower if you left every single sink and stove and oven on before leaving Zenlo? That's awesome. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I think the other consortium officers will go turn those off. It's funny though. I'm not sure we actually do track whether or not you left sinks on or not. That's funny. Give us the audio, jog our memory. I'm not sure what you're talking about. So, is there any other last minute questions? I don't know how much of a delay there is here. It's hard to tell. But I will come back to this. How many Viz groups? A lot. I haven't counted them. Whatever's in this. Way more than 20. There's ones and there's sub ones, right? So there's categories. All the lights are grouped together, doors are grouped together. sort of high-level main ones. This sort of got, as it came down to shipping the game, I started to maintain these viz groups a little less than I should have. But I'm still able to navigate the level and fix bugs, so yeah, 50 or so, maybe a few more. Can you, if you have all the triggers here, can you sample one good line? Oh, can you play the line from the editor? No, actually, I know that doesn't work for the ISSs. That might work. Let's see.
Wait, Bishop, hold up a second.
Yeah, it does work. Can you guys hear that?
Wait, Bishop, hold up a second.
That's when Pond 64 tries to get your attention.
You first.
Yeah, there you go. Cool, let's just go around and sample some of these. Random, who knows what you're gonna get. Alright, how about some of these? These are some of the conversations. Yeah, there's Angelov. Let's see, what's this one? This doesn't appear to work for some reason. That's strange, I don't know why these ones are working. Nope. No clue why those don't work. What about here? That's strange. Well, the ones worked out, ones on here seem to work.
You first.
Yeah, for some reason the Pond 64 ones work. Sheesh. Beats it all to me. Actually, Zenlo 1 has some amusing stuff. Maybe I can... Oh, excuse me.
1. Will you please inform local authorities of our location and to expect possible plane debris to follow?
Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh.
Just breathe, right? Keep breathing. Breathe and count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ha! I think that line is one that might not play. When we finished, when we were filing Consortium, some lines didn't make it. I think this one will actually, this is a hidden line.
Just
again.
Breathe, right? Keep breathing. Breathe and count to 5. 1,
Breathe, just
2,
breathe, Bishop.
3.
Okay, guys, I think I'm out of here. That was really fun. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. Thank you again, all of us here at iDGi. We're funded. We're making this game. It's an incredibly exciting time for us at iDGi after, quite a bit of hardship in general. But yeah, thank you, folks. hope you had fun. I'll see you guys Friday at 1 p.m. If not earlier. Like I say, I may just jump in again. Keep working on that level. But thanks, everybody. Have a good one. See you soon.